Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing another sketchbook tour. I know it's really soon since the last one, but it's been a while since I made videos, so these are kind of easy, so please excuse. But this one will be really interesting because I started this sketchbook, and you can see it's well worn, back in 2016, maybe even 2015. It's been a really long time. It's been around since the beginning of my channel, and I only just finished it, so there's a really wide journey going on here, and it's a little bit of a messy sketchbook, so I think it'll be really interesting. So let's just get started. Like I said, this started a long time ago. This would be like 2016-ish. I had just gotten the Monster High Rochelle doll with the one that came with the play set that had the swing, and I really loved it, so I tried to draw it. And it's really messy because it's a pencil drawing and I didn't have fixative back then. So I probably should spray this, but you can see my style has changed a little bit. It's not a huge amount, just refined a bit, but yeah, it's been a while. And this next page is just ink tests. I had bought the Deleter pen and nib ink. I think it was the number 4, and I was just testing with various markers. After this I gave up on it because it just kept bleeding no matter what I did. Oh, and I forgot to say in the beginning, sorry, I'm gonna backtrack, that this is the Daler Rowney mixed media paper sketchbook thing, and I would not recommend it. I don't like this paper at all. It's because I don't like it doesn't mean other people don't. I know there's some people who really love this paper. That's why I bought it, because I heard it recommended, but I particularly don't like it. It's nice and thick, but it's very textured, and my pens don't like it, my markers don't like it, so I'm not a fan. So yeah, back to the pages. Like I said, the last one was the pen test, and then this one I had tried to use my coal erase pencils for probably one of the first times in a sketch, and I still kind of like this sketch. I think it was a really nice sketch. She's like a little Batgirl, little vampire. And yeah, this one definitely held up better than the regular pencil because it doesn't really have any smudging at all, so that's great. I think after that I also did a bunch more like very rough sketchy sketches in the pencil, and again this would have been back in like 2016. This one is even dated July 9th, 2016, and another coal erase purple sketch. Yeah, that came off. Just some mermaids. I think maybe it was before I just got into mermaid for the first time. I'm not sure. I can't remember that far back. What was I even doing in 2016? Maybe not. I think I made a video with this one. This is using watercolor pencils, I believe, and pencils for one of the first times, July 10th of 2016. Man, it's been a while. And yeah, you can see that my eyes have calmed down a little bit in my style. I used to do them even more bigger, and otherwise I think I've just refined a few things, but there's not a whole lot hugely different. Not every artist has a huge shift in their style every once in a while. This is what I would call like a random, not great page. I was gonna say a different word, but it's YouTube, so I better don't. Oh, I actually remember drawing this. This is like based on Rapunzel, but it was one of those days when I wasn't really feeling it. And I remember because this was the very first drawing that I sketched when I moved into the room I'm in now, from the space that I was at in my last studio tour. And I know I need to do a studio tour. I'll get there. I'm getting there. It's just hard to hype up for that. You know, it's kind of weird. But yeah, I remember drawing this and not really feeling this room. It's been a long struggle to get a good feel of the room that I'm in. But it's great for space. And I did a video on this one. I'm sure I'll link it in the iCards if you want to see it. It's an older video. I believe this is when I started doing like kind of a sketchbook sketching type video. And I don't know what I used for this. I can't really remember, but if you want to know, check out the video. This is just another random sketch in the sketchbook. Oh, I was testing out some markers on this page. I don't really remember what markers, to be honest. But I remember I was testing out some markers that I had gotten for the first time, and I thought they would be a challenge to use. It might be the Pro markers. It might be the Pro markers. Because they were chisel tip, and I was like, oh, great, now I have to figure out how to do chisel tip markers. I still really like this page. It's just a random sketchy page. At this point, we're on July 3rd, 2017. I really like the sketches. I like the shape of the body here, but obviously I gave up on the face. I think I had tried to draw something and erased it. Kind of like, you know, what are those Elvira-esque vampire silhouettes I was going for? Yeah, I like that one. And the princess at the bottom too. This one I also have a video for. I still like this one a lot. I'll link it in the iCard if you want to check it out. This one has a lot of meaning to it. Actually, I wish I could capture the feeling that I had captured in this one, especially with this background and the drawings. Remember the last video I was talking about, and you guys all like were really cool and left comments below talking about how you also felt that it was hard to put your emotions into a drawing. I feel like I did a pretty good job with this one. I just wish I could harness this and put it into other drawings as well. So yeah, I still like this one. This one was also a video. What year are we with this? 2017. I believe this was before the Beauty and the Beast movie had come out, the live action, and this one has like sparkly details. That's why I'm doing that. This was fun to draw. I remember that. It's been a while though. I don't believe I ever posted this anywhere. This is just, I think I was just playing around with colors, but I also really was loving the movie Moana then, and I still love the movie Moana. It's one of my favorites. This is also 2017. This one, I believe I was trying to get rid of the palette. Remember, like a long time ago, I made videos about clearing out like old watercolor from a palette and trying to use it up. Yeah, I got over that. Now I just kind of wipe them away and just be like, it's fine. I have a lot of watercolor. But at that time, I was like obsessed with trying to use every little bit. And I think I had mixed everything that I had left and made this reddish color. So I just drew these weird little pixie fairy girls. And that's pretty much it. And I must have been experimenting with something here. Oh, I used the back for once. Just some random sketches. Looks like maybe a coal erase pencil or something, if I can keep it nicely in frame. I think I was experimenting with making up hair, but I couldn't figure out how to do it right back then. You know, like hair that has like a bump kind of thing. And more sketches. This is actually based on my husband. Yeah, he kind of looks like that, but not as bitchy. And this is, the face looks really bad, but this is actually my original character, Aya, from a story I started writing back in like 1999, if you can believe that. If you are like an OG follower and you remember the DeviantArt days, you might know her. Okay. This one, I believe I was just playing around with some new medium watercolors or watercolor. I don't remember. I remember it was something new and it had something to do with watercolors, and I was just trying to like, yeah, just figure it out. I honestly can't remember what medium it was, but I was just trying to figure it out and having fun with randomness. I would guess this is probably 2017 still. This one, I also have a video. This one, yeah, this one says 2017. This is just a, you know, Princess Serenity, that's the right, with the moon castle behind. I did put a lot of effort into this one. This paper is okay for more finished drawings, I guess. It's probably not as good as watercolor paper, by the way. Nowadays, I'd rather just go with watercolor paper because I'm more used to watercolor now. I've been using it for quite a few years, so I want something that will make it a bit easier. Back then, I wasn't as used to it, so I didn't really bother I don't know if that makes sense. It's like when I'm not as used to something, if there's a paper that's not like helping me along, I'm not as bothered because I don't know it's the paper. I think it's me or the paints, and I'm not as bothered. I just keep trying. But as I get more used to the medium, I start to realize, oh, this paper would help me out easier. So wouldn't recommend, but that's just me. You might love this stuff. And yeah, this one also has like, I think I'd use fine text to put like the tears and a bit on her dress as well. So yeah, this one, I still like this one, although I don't think she's very popular. I don't think other people like her as much as I do, but maybe that's because I'm focusing on other things that I had put a lot of effort into, like the mist, which I used white gouache for, and I went over many times. I remember being frustrated with the background color because I just could not get the color to stay like vibrant, so I had to go over it like many times, which is probably to do with the paper because it was Daniel Smith watercolor, so it's really good. Yeah, this one is another video, I believe. I still like this one. This one is already in January 18th, 2018. I still like the concept of this, but I don't think I fully did it right in the hand. I'm trying to show her like taking a deep breath and like holding the roses to herself, but I like this one still. I think it was a pretty good job, except some wonkiness in the face, but okay, I'll stop picking. Again, just playing around with like watercolors. I think it was around here when I started to realize that the black I had bought, I think it's the Daniel Smith Lunar Black. I actually don't love it because I don't love the granulation. I had a wrong idea of what granulation was when I first bought Daniel Smith watercolors, and when I was first getting into watercolors, I thought it was like, you know, the patchiness, but that's actually to do with like your brush and your paper and your water control, and granulation is actually like this type of texture, which I'm not really a fan of. I'm not really a fan of it. So that's when I learned that I actually prefer the ivory black, even though I feel like it's a little on the brownish side than I would like the tone of the black, but the lunar black is just too granulating for me. Okay, so here is where we get into current day. I don't know when that last galaxy was drawn, probably all the way back early 2018, and these July 2019 is when I started these. And from here on, I've been using both sides of the paper, and I've been just playing around. One thing I learned is that this paper is not fun to watercolor on the opposite side. But I just wanted to make more use of the sketchbook before I retired it and said, okay, this one is done. And I just played around. This was playing around with some watercolors that I'll be reviewing soon. And just getting a feel for them and just trying to fill the whole page. I also had just watched Cardcaptor Sakura for the first time in years, and I was really into it because like it just, I don't know, it just brought that rush of excitement because like Clamp's art is just so exciting looking. That's not the right words. It's so inspirational, like the flow, the way that the characters flow, and this is kind of like her mom at the ghost of her mom. This is what this reminds me of. And these were just kind of filler. I was experimenting with various colors here and being weird with her hands and a cute little elf girl, which doing these, I realized this one color in the palette is actually really nice when I originally did not like it. So yeah, that's kind of vague, but it's because there'll be a video on this eventually. And again, like I said, I was just rewatching Cardcaptor Sakura. I was really into it. I actually found out I've only seen a little bit of Cardcaptor Sakura. I never apparently watched the rest of the anime, so it was kind of fun for me, but I cannot draw them with anything. All I can say is these were very bad days trying to do these three, but I thought she was kind of cool, but she just doesn't look like Sakura at all. And again, I just slapped some color on it from the palette that I'm working with. This one is just like a random witch girl, again inspired by having watched Character Sucker again and seeing Clamp's art again, and it just made me want to draw like magical girls and flowy dresses. And I also love witches, so I just drew a quick witch. I feel like this one I should have relined her a bit, but I was like, chill, it's in a sketchbook, you don't need to do so much. And for fun I just put a little fox here. I can't draw foxes, but I did my best. Plus it's a sketchbook, so it doesn't matter. Where are we going here? Oh, okay, this one. This was... So on this page, I realized I don't really do flowers that often, and I'd like to do more flowers in my art. And I only have like 2 or 3 flowers that I draw decently, especially if I look at reference to remind me. But I think it was because I had already drawn the horse and I started drawing flowers, and I'm just like, I need to learn how to draw more flowers. So I just opened Google and I just looked up a bunch of various types of flowers. Like these are supposed to be magnolias. I don't know what I had written for this. Baby's breath, that kind of thing. So I just tried to draw them to my best ability from various references on Google, and then just slap some color later when I was using the watercolor. The horse girl, I also use reference for the horse's body, and I think for like not having drawn many horses in my life ever, I think it was a pretty good job. So for some reason I left her uncolored. Probably because I was like, she's looking down and her hand's there, so something has to be here there. So I threw the rose bush thing in as a last second thing. I wanted to do an actual bush, not a potted flower, but I couldn't figure out how to translate it from the various images I've seen of rose bushes online. So I was just like, okay, whatever, I'll just draw something a bit easier. And then I got distracted by the flowers, and I never actually colored her, but I have actually just recently taken her and used Procreate to redo the lines, and she will be a drawing line art for my patrons to color. So if you're interested in coloring her, definitely check out my Patreon. That will be up within the next few days. So yeah, I don't know why I just suddenly smacked my my sketch pad, but whatever. But yeah, I did change a few things on the line art for Patreon, so if you're curious, definitely check it out. But yeah, I did a little bit of studying that way. Another thing that I did for studying in this sketchbook, let me refocus, is these drawings. These are all based on photos in that of models that I follow on Instagram. Those are the words. So like I always like follow a few, like especially goth or fantasy models for like inspiration and ideas and, you know, outfit ideas, and I just thought I would just try to draw what I was seeing. I didn't do any tracing for this one like I had tried for the other one, where I traced the body shape just to kind of understand it a bit better. Instead I just did eyeball, and I put the credit for each of the photos here. I think this one turned out the weirdest. I tried my best, but it was different, and that's why I chose the drawing. Not the drawing. I chose the photo to draw because it was a bit different, a bit of a challenge. I also chose this one to draw because I thought the tilt of the head was just so slight that it'd be a challenge. And I just thought these are pretty. I think this one's my favorite out of all of them. This is a photo by Manic Moth. And I can't say that one. That one's the easiest one to say. Natalia Lafay is this one. So yeah, everything's written here, so if you want to go follow them, you should, because they're very inspirational. They make like really cool photography that's really interesting. So yeah, and I just slapped some color on with my watercolor palette, which was also really good practice with my watercolor palette to try to figure out how to get blacks, because I felt like the colors in the palette really didn't mix dark colors that well, but after a long time of trying, I got it, and I think it's not so bad. So it was very good practice with that palette before I do the review also. Oh, wait, this goes this way. Again, this one's not that great, but it's a sketchbook, so it's fine. I was watching Character Sakura, and this was like the end of the season 1. And I just found it really exciting because I'd never seen it. I didn't know how it went, and it was a really cool part, so I kind of tried to draw it, but it looks terrible, but oh well. It was still fun to draw. I think this one was actually pretty cool. I think I saw a few people mention the live action for Aladdin, and I was just drawing a bust and I just kind of turned her into Jasmine. I don't know, sometimes I do that. And I had some fun. It was the same watercolor palette, trying to make it work. I was able to do the skin tone with it, and I thought it looked really good, so that was cool. And I added some gold fine tech. I actually watered it down and put it all over her skin. Not sure if you can really tell in the video, but in person you can tell. So yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. I think this one's kind of neat. Wait, no, we're going this way now. On this page, these are just, again, random sketches. This is based off of a character that was added into a game I'm playing. I play Mobile Legends, if anybody else knows what that is. It's kind of like a bigger thing in Asia, Southeast Asia to be honest, than Western countries. Like most people who play are in Southeast Asia, and it's not the exact character. I changed up a lot of her character design, but I just thought she was really cute. It's more realistic, I guess, because her hair like sticks up, and she wears like a knockoff Sailor Moon dress. So I just put her in a Japanese schoolgirl uniform that's more realistic, and put her hair down because that's more realistic. And I was just having fun. I just wanted to do something weird. And then I tried to draw her again, and it didn't look as good. This one kind of looks like Ami from Sailor Moon, but it was just a random thing. And another random thing, I believe I was playing around with different palette for these two maybe, but I went back to the original palette for these two, to watercolor. It's all watercolor, by the way. So yeah, these are Hawaiian colors. They don't look as good as the other ones. Okay, so on this sketchbook page, this was a couple weeks ago. So if you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen something a couple weeks ago with this one. I had posted something like, I didn't really like the Pride and Prejudice movie, and I was asking people, oh, is this just like a not great movie, or is it just the story kind of sucks? And people had suggested that I go and watch the BBC short series of Pride and Prejudice, which I did, and I actually really enjoyed it. And I just kind of drew these while I was in the mood. I was like in that mood to watch those type of movies. I was watching like Pride and Prejudice and Sense and Sensibility and Emma, because those are the three I like. Although I like the miniseries way better than the Pride and Prejudice movie. But I love Sense and Sensibility. I watched that so many times since I was a kid. And I just wanted to draw something like in that kind of outfit. And then I put these weird flowers on the side. I think this is the back side of the paper. And this paper did not love this watercolor, because like when I laid it down, it was flat, and then it dried splotchy like that. That was so annoying. So annoying. So yeah, I think we're almost, no, this is the last page. Okay, so this is the last page in the sketchbook, and again, I was trying to get back into drawing chubbier characters. It's something that I've fallen out of, and I occasionally pop into over and over again, because I would like to draw chubbier characters and show them as beautiful, because they are. But it's my own personal issues with being made fun of for being a bigger sized person my whole life that it makes it harder for me to find it good and to not keep thinning them down when I draw them. So I was just trying again, and I just wanted to do a bigger size like face, and then more full body-ish, and fill out the page more. I also believe I used some materials I don't usually use. Oh, I think these are Daiso markers, the Daiso Illustrator markers. And I used a pen that I don't usually use, I believe. I wrote some stuff, but apparently it wasn't waterproof, because I tried to do watercolor over this one. It just smeared her eye down her face, which is the worst, but oh well. And then after that, I just did markers for these. And I also just kind of experimented with different combination of markers and different colors that I usually wouldn't put together, but I thought it was kind of neat. It's something different, and again, I was trying to force myself to experiment in my sketchbook, because I don't always do it. But because of the bleed through, I left this side blank. And yeah, I just wrote a little reminder to myself that how long it took me to finish this one. So yeah, that's my sketchbook. That's my 2016 to 2019 sketchbook. I went through 3 long years in this sketchbook. Can you believe it? Do you guys remember any of these pages from videos? And what was your favorite drawing in the book? I'm curious. But yeah, I really hope you like this video. I really hope you like these sketchbook tours. I kind of am trying to make it a thing to fill up my sketchbooks more, because I bought so much paper at one point and I have so much of it. I feel bad. Like, I'm trying to tell myself no more paper, you can't buy anymore. And instead I just want to like try to fill up what I have. I'm just flipping through so you guys don't get bored while you hear me ramble. But yeah, so if you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment down below, all that stuff. And if you want to join us on Patreon, where you can color in that horse girl, which this one. If you want to join us on Patreon and you want to color this horse girl, then definitely check it out. The link is in the video description. And otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!